about this. We create community, use challenge as the catalyst.
The trust breeds magic.
We're going to connect on the same level.
Possibility is bigger than they imagine.
Like any experiment, the reason you do it is to learn.
Who would you be without opportunity?
The learnings of this experiment are going to be on the edge of what's possible.
Everybody!
I can do this, and it's worth doing.
This became a love for us, this place.
Sorry. Hey guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to start with a video, and I think it's in true due fashion. The whole thing shifted gears, and you're going to look at photos, and I'm going to tell a story, and I got to do it all in 7 minutes because I have 10 and the video takes 3. It should be good though. I'll frame it a little bit. It occurred to us relatively late that we should be giving in our own backyard. And we had done a few things here and there, but there's a great need right here in the United States. I was just talking to Courtney, and she was talking to me about Detroit. There's, after Katrina, New Orleans was a disaster, and there are quite a few people in need in the Adirondacks. So this is just a little video kind of telling the story of how we're giving in the U.S. now.
Sometimes I dream about what other places are like. There's a bunch of skyscrapers and people always on the streets and the subway. There are crowds of people who go to watch basketball games. I practice basketball every day. A good basketball player is someone who rebounds, gives assists, and has good defense and offense. If you work harder, the better you get.
As a young child, I was always sitting at the piano. When you're in the moment writing a song, you can never know what the result of that's going to be. To know that a song I've written is traveling and affecting somebody somewhere that I don't know, it's really a beautiful thing. It's incredible what a small act can do and how it can impact someone else's life.
We've gotten better at giving, and we've learned how to do it well. And now it's really time to expand our giving in the US. We only have a company because we have One for One. And the second one is really just dependent on us working very closely with our partners to complete what started with the purchase of a pair of shoes.
I know that there's so much potential here that I feel like you just need to tap into. It's easy to be cynical. It's not as easy to roll up your sleeves and get to work and start making some changes. When you know that someone cares about you, when you know that someone cares about whether or not you are successful, that is a big driving factor in how hard you're going to work and how successful you're going to be.
Sometimes I dream about making a buzzer beater. There's a bunch of people in the crowd. I was taking the ball down the court. The Knicks was up by 1. I get the ball in the corner and I shoot it just in time. I make it and the crowd goes wild. Oh my gosh, it's good! They win the game! That'd be awesome.
So we have this amazing group at Tom's that makes these videos, and sometimes we make them, we don't know what we're going to do with them, and that's one of them. I don't think many people outside the building have seen it. I don't know, maybe there's been talk of maybe doing a TV ad, ooh. But I love it personally because it tells a story of how just one kid gets to lead a normal life and shoot baskets and dream, and I think that's in the end what it's all about, you know, a personal connection. I had this story that I thought I would tell, it'd be fun and entertaining, and talking to everybody. Everybody wanted to hear the Tom's story, and you know, about how Tom's did its thing and what Tom's is doing, what we did right, what we did wrong. So I shifted gears totally, and well, I'll just talk about Tom's. No need to talk about me. And then Jody, where she really encouraged me, well, I want to hear how you fit in, and so things got reworked a little bit, and I hope this story does a little bit of both. First of all, these are the founders. This is the Alejo. Alejo is the one on the right about whom Duke spoke, and then Blake is his blushing groom. I think to me it frames that we try not to take ourselves too seriously, clearly. This is where it started for me. I was in New York, I was in the lobby, and I got a call from a, you know, because the Wi-Fi is free in the lobby. If you ever stayed at W, it's ridiculous how much they charge for Wi-Fi, right? So I get a call from my good friend Karina, and she says, hey, there's this great guy. He wants to start a shoe company, and he could really use your help. And I just stopped her right there. Little back framing is, I was on my own. I was consulting to shoe companies, mostly in Southern California, but you know, some elsewhere. It had gotten a little bit too much. I had you know, 3 or 4 clients, and I felt like I was giving a half-assed effort to each of them instead of I really wanted to have a really good effort for 1 or 2 of them. I had a full-on Jerry Maguire moment, you know, where, you know, fewer customers, better service. And my wife hated the idea because that just meant less income, right? But anyway, we were having this dialogue, and you know, those of you that you know, have lifelong friends or partners, discussions can take a long time before they're resolved. So anyway, Karina, no thanks, I'm not interested. I've had it up to here with entrepreneurs who aren't as entrepreneurial as they let on. They're really just, you know, money grabbing, power hungry. Obviously, I was a little bit jaded, right? She said, no, this guy's great, he's amazing, I've known him for a long time. And I said, well, look, I'm in New York, I'm really busy. Actually, I was trying to get tickets for a Thievery Corporation show, but that's another story. The guy turned out to be a really good friend. He has a winery around here, actually. So I'm really busy, right? I don't have time. Wait, that's amazing, Blake is in New York. You're kidding me, right? Well, look, I only have another half an hour, hour and a half. Then I've got to meet customers, and I'm heading back home. Well, let me call. And Karina's, this is 2006, and she's always been very well connected. That's basically what she does. She's a connector, and she figured out where he was, figured out where I was. Oh my God, he's like 2 blocks away. Okay, I'll go. And really, Karina is a great friend to me and a great friend to my wife, and the only reason I ever went to meet Blake was out of respect for Karina, to tell this guy thanks but no thanks, face to face. That's really, you know, why I went. She's a dear friend. So I went in and just literally stuffed the computer in my backpack, walked out the door, and went and met him. And like, you know, he told me a little bit about his story, and I was, you know, ready to tell him no. And about 30 minutes later, I was on the phone to my wife. You won't believe it, honey, I'm on my way to China. And the thing that Blake did was not try to sell me. A few of you, Jacques was saying, you know, he knows Blake, and a few of you I know have met Blake. He's just a very sincere guy. And all he did was say, I love what I'm doing. I really want to make this thing work. I think you can help. I think it's a great idea. And that's what it took for me. He didn't try to sell me, this is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was really just a simple alpargata. And aside from his sincerity, he showed me this little brochure, this trifold brochure, which I don't have a photo of, but I actually have one of the original photos. And this won me over, not really because of the reason that you think. The whole brochure was, for example, here, everybody's wearing flip-flops, one person wearing Toms. There was a shot of everybody wearing polo boots and one person wearing Toms. Or in a yoga studio, everybody barefoot and one person wearing Toms. And it was really this one with the flip-flops that won me over. I thought, well, I don't know if you guys remember, 10 years ago, flip-flops were the rage on the red carpet. And I thought, well, that's peaked. Pants are getting narrower. I mean, a little alpargata has as good a chance as anything. And that may be one of the things that won me over. But like Duke, I thought the one for one thing, well, that's cute. People like that. And that was about all I thought about it. So the next thing I know, I'm on my way to China making shoes, and we've made about 10,000 of them, and we decide it's time to give them away, and we go on our shoe drop. And how are we doing on time, by the way? Good? Awesome, right? Okay, 4 minutes. This means awesome? Yeah. Okay, good. The first stop was outside of Buenos Aires at this orphanage, and this amazing woman, and actually a little bit of a backward glance one more time, is Shannon had been in the shoe business for a while too. I met her at ASICS some years before, and we knew that shoes weren't going to change anybody's lives, right? We've been doing this a while. The best that you can hope is that somebody gets a good pair of shoes and they feel good about themselves while they're out running, or they look cute when they're going to the store. But that's about it. And we knew that, and we're on the bus with all these rookies, and this was going to be a great little philanthropic getaway for us. And we get to this orphanage, and we meet this woman. All she does is take care of kids. She gathers whatever kids she can possibly take in from in and around Buenos Aires. And we told her we were going to be coming and bringing the shoes, but I don't think she really believed us. So we showed up with these boxes that we had packed. This is Natalia, Alejo's wife. And she just started crying. She had, I guess one of the most common things people say when they bring the shoes in, when they bring their kids in, is, I just want them to have basics like shoes. And I haven't told the story in a while, I guess. I mean, it was you can see now, and it was an epiphany. I mean, it was a game changer for me and Shannon. You know, that this thing we had been working on for the last 10 or 15 years actually can make a difference. Holy crap, are you serious? And there were a lot of tears. And we gave away a lot of shoes. This is Karina's backside, by the way. It's not her best side, but this is how we did it at the time. We had this firm belief that we need to put the shoes on every kid's feet when we make sure it happened. We're not going to go through a third party. And this is just some of the kids there. And then we moved on into the jungle up in north of Argentina. And the only truck we could get was a garbage truck. And the only raincoats we could get were garbage bags, but we persevered, and the women managed to look really good in their garbage bags. This is my wife, this is Blake's mom, and that's Karina. Beautiful. And the people were they had nothing, and the thing that struck me was they were so graceful. The kids in Piletones at the orphanage, they were kids, they tried to get back in line to get another pair of shoes, or they're always kind of scheming, hey, I've got 2 brothers, can you help me out? But these people were so humble and so grateful, and it was almost as if we were peers. Not almost, we were peers. There wasn't that we're these vague Americans coming to give you stuff. We were people that just part of their world, and it was clear to me that if the roles were reversed, they'd be happily giving me their shoes. And they had nothing, and honestly, they had nothing. This is how typical dress, they didn't need the shoes. And this is our Tom's iconic photo. It's hanging around in the building in a few different places. I think it's on the shoebox. I just love this photo of the kids. Kid didn't need shoes. You're a funny guy. I'm going to gather some stories, dude. I reconnected with Howard. Okay, so after the trip, we're on the airplane, and Shannon and I had been having this discussion. Look, I want Toms to be. I just want to do Toms. Sean, that's the one company that's not paying you anything. Don't be an idiot. And no, I just wanted. It just smells right to me. And believe me, I haven't had a ton of conversations where I tried to convince her it just feels right. My wife doesn't operate that way. It's A, B, C, D, and it just feels right. And she wouldn't tolerate it. And so we're on the airplane, looking out the window, and she said, I was looking the other way, but I heard her say, "We have to make this work." And, it changed our lives. So 7 years later, I cry a lot, by the way. But the thing is, you can't, if she had never said that, I wouldn't be here. Tom's probably could have found somebody more talented than me. Not as comfortable with nudity as I am, but probably better. And it wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't be up here talking to you guys. And I chose this story because I think there are a few points. Number one is, and they resonated. I heard these points half a dozen times already, and I think you guys will recognize them. Say yes. Leap before you look. It kind of goes hand in hand with point number two, trust your heart. I had a conversation with somebody early on. We were talking about kids and letting them encouraging them to trust their gut. I don't know who was that, but it was a great way for me to start this weekend. Something I heard a few different ways, but I think Tina put it really well. Choose your circle well, and I mean your circle of friends, your work community. If I'm really lucky, I'll get to count some of you among my friends. And there have been so many times where I felt like an idiot, a failure. I've been fired a lot, and it can wear you down. And the thing that always picked me up was I could look at my kids, and they're healthy and happy and amazing, and I look at my wife, and she thinks I'm special, and especially I look at my friends, and if these people are willing to hang around me, I honestly, I must be okay. And I can't tell you how many times that's picked me up because I've fallen a lot. And chase your dreams, make them real. And this we heard from everybody, and they said it far better than I could. But this was in my application to the Do was a quote from Frankenstein. I do have a morbid side, but Victor Frankenstein he fell in love with medicine because of The Alchemist. Those were the only books he could find in his house, and crazy stuff, bloodletting and that kind of thing, I'm sure. But when he went to college, they forced him to learn real medicine, real science, and it was only after he rediscovered what made him happy in the first place that he had his famous breakthrough. And the quote I think is a pretty well-known one. He felt like he traded his chimeras of boundless grandeur for realities of little worth. And I can tell you my whole life, beginning from my family, my mom, not my mom so much, my dad, my brother, Sean, get real. Get real. It got to the point where I really don't like the phrase anymore. I don't like it. Get real. Because the realities these often meant shit to me. Sorry. And it's the dreams that count, and make them real. Actually, I forgot one more thing I wanted to say. The boots that you guys are wearing, still here? They tie in with winter boot that we created at Tom's, and I guess I thought I saw a lot of you people wearing them, and you seem to like them, and I thought you might like to know that they tie in with a winter boot. They're the first boots really that we've done at Tom's, and they tie in with the winter boot that we're giving away now. In China was the first place we gave it away, so there you go.